biggest, and we assist to have it in America, to go worldwide, sponsoring and financing and everything by us.
All right, looks like we have another question from this side.
I have a question for His Excellency. You said many times now that you don't want any more of these Tom and Jerry fights where one fighter is chasing the other one. What is your plan to kind of stop these fights?
We will not have him anymore. This is the first thing. The second, we will have in this fight and the next fight bonus for KO.
And then secondly, there's been some social media speculation, we'll say, about when this fight is going to take place. So when will it be?
Who's asking about the time and the place? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
All right, on the left-hand side here.
Your Excellency, Tassie Brown from Australia, FightHot.com. First of all, congratulations for everything you've done for boxing since you've come into the game. They've gave us many great fights, and you continue with your Excellency to keep giving us greater fights. You're a boxing historian yourself. Do you think this fight resembles Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard in the 80s? The fact that Canelo and Terence Crawford are the two great pound-for-pound legends, both first ballot Hall of Famers in the future, and Terence is going for his third undisputed. Canelo defended his second undisputed. Do you think it's a resemblance of Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler?
I will start with Crawford. Crawford coming to this fight, two-time undisputed champion, with the O in his record of losing. He dreamed to be the third time the undisputed champion. Second, it is Canelo who's fighting everyone. If you see the brilliant CV of Canelo in the last 20 years, he's in the ring, he fight everyone. And I don't think Canelo will give Crawford chance to beat him, especially if Crawford go 2 weight up. It will be something Canelo doesn't want it in his record. This will be one of the best fight in the last at least 10 years. And I need to mention why we choose Netflix. Netflix is the big platform. Second, if you ask about the numbers of the subscriber and the pay-per-view, let's see the record. In that time, in 2015, 2013, the internet and the piracy was not like now. Now is the best options to go with the big platform, and I think this fight we will have the big record around the world, and we will show the world what is real boxing, especially Netflix. We will show them what is the real boxing.
All right, and the final media question right over here.
Question to His Excellency. You said earlier about the fact that you had both Canelo and Crawford round for a dinner last night. Can you talk to us a little bit about the reason behind that, what was discussed, and whether any future plans are in the works? Because I know you're constantly trying to tick off new venues and break new records. What could be next after this fight?
This is from our traditional way in Saudi Arabia, to have our guests in our home and to see them together. And you know, in the last 3 years, you've been here in the kingdom a lot. We deal with our people who's coming here as a guest, like a king. They came here like a king, and we deal with them with respect, and we talk about the future. You know what we have with Canelo for the next 2 years, and we will try to extend this relationship. It will not be only in boxing, and you know my relationship with Crawford. We have a lot of plan in the future. We talked yesterday, and they are professional, but I think starting from last night, they know what they need to do. Thank you so much, and I will make the legend continue. Thank you.
Okay, now let's hear from the fighters, and I'll start first with the undisputed super middleweight champion. Canelo, welcome back to Riyadh. Of course, the last time we saw you here fighting under the, here in the kingdom under the Riyadh banner, you fought William Skull. What were your impressions of that fight night and that fight itself?
You mean William Skull?
Yes, that
You
fight,
think-
the whole
You
event.
think that was a fight? No, I don't think so. That's a deception for me because, you know, I come to fight, but you need to have both fighters think the same, right? And a little deceptional, but we win. That's all that matters. And we are focused 100% on these fights, in this fight, because, you know, this fight is big. And for me, making history is my goal, my whole life. So I'm very excited for this fight.
And Terence, it's been a while since we saw you in action. It was last summer under the Riyadh season banner in Los Angeles. What did you think about your fight against Madrimov and fighting under the Riyadh season?
I thought my fight was a clear-cut victory. It may have not been what the fans is used to seeing, being that I was on a KO streak. So I'm cool with my performance and my victory, and I'm looking to be bigger, better in this next one.
You heard His Excellency saying no more Tom and Jerry, no more running, but you're moving up 2 weight classes. It's not going to be smart for you to stand there and hammer it out with this guy. So how do you kind of balance that, not running, but being elusive in fighting Canelo?
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running. You know, I could tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Well, you don't move up 2 weight classes to fight someone like this, and you've been calling out forever. If you don't see a path to victory, you don't see holes in his game. What areas do you think you're better than Canelo, and how do you see yourself beating him?
Well, listen, I called Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and, you know, the Kovalevs and Triple Gs, and I wasn't able to get those mega fights, you know, so this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight an all-time great like Canelo.
Hey, Canelo, you were recently asked about Terence Crawford. You said he's good, but he's no Canelo. What can you do that Terence cannot do?
No, don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not Canelo. Obviously, I'm been in this situation for a long time, and I have the experience. They only focus on my power, but I have more than that. And I think this fight is gonna be one of my best fights in my history, in my record, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited, motivated, because this is all about. I want to make history, and I'm very excited for this fight.
You've accepted this fight now, but in the previous years, you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right
You
now.
can see it, but
I'm
it's
taking
gonna
them.
be
I'm
it's
taking
gonna
them.
be difficult. You take it to your
I'm
home.
taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
And
night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I
but
promise
but
you.
look, it's
All
gonna
right.
be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm
I
different.
see you too.
You see I'm
I see
different
you.
than all the other
No,
ones.
I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
You
see.
know it.
We'll see. We'll
We
see.
gonna
son.
see.
Terence, how did you think he did against William Skull?
No comment. He won. We on to the next. It's me and him.
Some people said he should have done a better job cutting the ring off. It was the fewest punches ever landed. Did you see it that way?
Listen, I'm not here to talk about his past fights. I'm here to talk about his present fight, and that's him versus me, and that's what I'm here to talk about. Me versus him, not him versus any other his previous opponents.
Do you expect him to run like a lot of people?
I hope not.
You don't think so?
I hope not. I hope not, because I think people deserve a good fight, and that's why we are here, right? To make a good fight, and the best fighter win. And I expect he put a great fight.
You've heard the critics, I'm sure. This fight at one point I think was 5-1 odds for you. Now it's tightened up to under 2-1 odds. Your recent performances, do you think you've fought to your level of expectations? Are you pleased with the way you've fought your last couple fights?
Yeah, I do what I supposed to do in my fights. You know, I'm not focused. I'm never focused about if I'm the favor or not. Being in both sides, I always focus on how I train and how I prepare myself, and that's it. I know my abilities, and I'm confident about that.
This fight is in Las Vegas. Obviously, there's going to be a huge Mexican crowd there for him. How confident are you that the judges will give you a fair shake after the end of the 12 rounds?
Listen, I can't focus on the judges. I just got to focus on doing what I can do and controlling what I can control inside the ring. And that's, going out there and winning the fight decisively.
You're bulked up now. You're bigger than ever. Do you feel stronger? Do you feel like you can knock Canelo out?
Man, listen, like I said before, any fighter can be knocked out. Canelo got a granite chin. He's tough. He's durable. We've seen him hurt a couple of times, but not to the point where, it's not respected. But given the right circumstances, anybody can get knocked out.
Do you expect this when the fight's over to be a razor close fight, or are we going to say, wow, Terence beat him convincingly?
Listen, I'm always going to rise in the big occasions. I always did my whole career. This is my moment, and I'm not letting Canelo take it away from me. Simple as that.
And Canelo, you've been the smaller fighter in a lot of your fights. Do you feel like you can bully this guy around since he's coming up 14 pounds?
I've been in his position before, and I'm not thinking about that. I'm just gonna do my job and take everything serious, and not thinking about if smaller or bigger. I always prepare myself for the best fighter out there.
This fight is on a massive platform. This could be the biggest audience that's ever watched one of your fights. Is it good enough for you on Netflix just to beat Terence, or do you have to put on a show?
I'm a winner. I always thinking about the win, and I'm coming to win. And Netflix or not, I always coming to win. My mindset is different, and I'm very thankful with Netflix, with Turkey Al-Ashi, with all the guys involved in this fight, because for me, it's all about make history, and I'm glad to be here.
Who would you say is the toughest opponent you've ever faced, and where would you rank Terence?
No, he's one of the top fighters I'm gonna face in my career for sure. He's a great fighter, but I have many great fights in my career.
And when you visualize how this fight's going to play out, what are we going to be saying about you and about this fight when it's all said and done?
I don't really know, because you expect something, and then other things come in the fight. But I'm gonna prepare myself for everything. And
Terence, I know you guys were on Pierce Morgan recently and talked about what would happen if this was a street fight. I know you have a wrestling background. If this fight took place in Omaha on the streets, you and Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. Y'all know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. I'm me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we don't talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
And a lot of people are watching right now. What's your message to your fans as we prepare for this fight on September 13th? Why should they tune in and watch this battle?
You know, they know I always come to fight. I always come with my best. And I just thankful with them for all the support. And I hope them will be there watching or in the arena, cheering for me and enjoy the win.
And Terence, the same question for you. I guess a lot of people will be showing up from Omaha and Las Vegas for that weekend. What's your message to your fans as you take on the biggest challenge of your career?
Listen, I just tell them, you know what I mean, suit up. We about to bring some more jewelry home, you know, and it's going to be an exciting day for boxing. History will be made. Terence Crawford will be the first male boxer, three-weight undisputed champion of the world. And I mean that.
You know, he has a lot to lose in this fight, but you, I mean, in this day and era of boxing, that O is so important. Why are you risking all of that to chase Canelo Alvarez, that perfect record, that amazing resume you have?
Big risk, big reward. I'm a risk taker, and I ain't scared.
Any chance you beat Canelo and ride off into the sunset? Is this the way it ends?
I ain't even thinking about that right now. My focus is, you know what I mean, September 13th.
You're still in your prime.
Still ready.
All right. And now we'd like to welcome to the stage from the Ring Magazine. Please welcome Rick Reno, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they are fighting for. The brand new ring belt. This is for the undisputed 168-pound championship of the world.
For a mega fight of this magnitude, we wanted to create an exclusive mega belt. So we spoke to numerous companies all over the world and eventually settled on a top-tier company from the UK. This company often gets commissioned to create items for kings, for queens, jewelry, high-end medals for the British Army. And for the belt that Canelo has over there, we spent 100,000 pounds. For this belt, we upped the ante to 140,000 pounds. This is by far the most expensive Ring Magazine belt ever created, the finest gold, the finest craftsmanship. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Bud Crawford are the two very best fighters of this era. But there can only be one, and only one of them is going home with this belt Saturday night, September 13th in Las Vegas. Watch it live on Netflix. I thank everyone for coming out. See you in Las Vegas.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our first stare down between these two champions as we get set for September 13th's undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. And of course, the last time these men went nose to nose was after Canelo beat William Skull here in Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. All smiles then. Today, a little different story. Undisputed